deluded about the fact that this is reality. You know how in worldly life, when something really traumatic happens, we have some psychological safety mechanisms inside of us. Sometimes people, in order to cope with drama, or to cope with trauma, not drama, but trauma, they come up with an alternative reality. Or they say this isn't really happening. They block it all out. It's like a defense mechanism for you to not go crazy. You're not going to be able to do that on Judgment Day. That's لَيْسَ لِوَقَعَتِهَا كَاذِبَةٌ. That's one of its meanings. The second meaning of kadhiba here is also on that day, no person will be able to say, oh, I knew this wasn't going to happen. They were lying against the Judgment Day to begin with. On that day, there's not going to be anybody disbelieving, nobody lying that this is, oh no, this is all a lie. This isn't the truth. That's the second interpretation. Then the third quick interpretation about the word kadhiba is that it can be understood as a masdar, like kadhib, like lying, takdhib. What that would mean then is, on that day, there is no denying it. There's no canceling it. There's, takdhib or kadhiba also means canceller. So there's nothing that will come and, the great catastrophe of Judgment Day has come, it's already fallen, there's no reversing it now. There's no, okay, no, just a little bit more time. Or there's no, oh, that was a close one. Phew, thought it was Judgment Day. That's not going to happen that day. When major earthquake happened in the world, anywhere in the world when major earthquakes happen, people actually, Muslims especially, sometimes people start thinking it's Judgment Day. Well, especially if they're long, prolonged earthquakes, people start thinking it's Judgment Day. And then it stops and they're like, oh, I thought it was Qiyamah. Literally. And we would be no different if we were in that sort of a situation. May Allah protect us from being in such a situation. But لَيْسَ لِوَقَعَتِهَا كَاذِبَةٌ. There will be no cancelling, no removing of it. خَافِضَةٌ رَافِعَةٌ. By the way, khafd and rafa' are both grammatical terms. You learned them in Ajurumiyah, I hope. Right? What's khafd used for? Jar. It's used for jar. Khafd actually means to lower. Khafida, it's a day, yani qiyamah is a day that will lower. Rafi'ah, that it will elevate. So there's two opposite qualities of Judgment Day. It lowers and it elevates. What happens to mountains on that day? They're lowered. They sink. Stars sink. At the end of the surah, بِمَوَاقِعِ النُّجُومِ, same root. وَقَعَ فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِمَوَاقِعِ النُّجُومِ. I swear by the falling and the time of the stars falling. When is the time coming when the stars fall? Judgment Day. Right? So that's one. Things that are high today will fall. The sun will fall. The mountains will fall. Large buildings will be leveled. Everything will become flat. And then you have the deep oceans. And what's going to happen to the oceans? سُجِّرَتْ إِذَا الْبِحَارُ سُجِّرَتْ فُجِّرَتْ. They'll rise. They'll come out. And people are lowered into the earth today. They're lowered into the earth. And what happens to them on Judgment Day? They're raised. So that which was low becomes high. And that which was high becomes low. خَافِضَةٌ رَافِعَةٌ. It turns everything upside down. Others have interpreted خَافِضَةٌ رَافِعَةٌ to mean there are people that are in high positions in the world now. But they'll be low on that day. And there are people that are no names today. Nobody knows them. They make dua to Allah in their personal life. There may be a janitor, maybe a bus driver. Maybe nobody knows them or cares about them. If they died, nobody would even miss them. But on that day, they're elevated high like kings. They're raised. And on Judgment Day, if you've read the descriptions of Judgment Day in the Qur'an and of the Akhirah, you'll find over and over again an interesting concept of fawqiyah, of believers being elevated high and looking down at the kuffar. فَوْقَهُمْ. They'll be above them. وَالَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا فَوْقَهُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ عَلَى الْأَرَائِكِ يَنْظُرُونَ. They'll be on high elevated beds looking down. So this idea of believers being elevated, and of course that imagery in the figurative sense, which becomes literal on Judgment Day, يَرْفَعِ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ صَالِحَاتِ darajat. Allah will raise the ranks of people who believe among you. So the believers' ranks are being raised. The highest rank being of our Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, maqaman mahmuda, Qur'an calls it. The station that is worthy of praise. That's a station Allah has given His Messenger alaihi wasallam, very high station. So roles will be reversed. The powerful will become powerless, the weak will become powerful, the honored will be lowered, and the humiliated in this world will be honored. Everything will change. This is khafil. When the earth is shaken violently, رَجَّ الشَّيْء هزه بشدة وزلزله أو بسلسلة وزلزل الحائط رج الحائط رجا, they say in Arabic. Like if somebody rams into a wall and the wall shakes, Like imagine a car hit into a wall and there's like this like violent vibration. That kind of shaking, that's raj. That's raj. Like an earthquake shaking, that's raj. Or like when a major impact happens and things shake up, the cup falls off the table and things like that, that's raj. That's what's going to happen to the earth over and over again, and it's going to be shaken very, very violently. It's going to be rattled. إِذَا رُجَّتِ الْأَرْضُ رَجَّةً وَبُسَّتِ الْجِبَالُ بَسًّا. Very interesting phrase. بُسَّتِ الْجِبَالُ بَسًّا. Bas in Arabic actually means to, its means will be turned into complete dough. You ever see your Desis here see their mother making roti, right? You ever see that? When they make it into a ball and it's squishy, and it's being slapped around like this, that's what's going to happen to the mountain. All the mountains around us. They're completely turning into dough. These fixtures of toughness, of hardness, they're turning into soft dough. فَكَانَتْ هَبَاءً مُنْبَثًّا. And that's just the first step. That's just, them turning into dough is just the first step. Them melting away. But then they'll turn into haba, ghubar. It's like dust. Mumbatha, muntashiran, mutafarriqan, spread in every direction. There's just going to be clouds of dust. So first it starts melting, but then the heat is so much that the clouds, the rocks themselves evaporate. We know of heat that turns rock into lava. We know of that much heat. We don't know of the kind of heat that turns rock into gas. We don't know about that. That intense heat. And now it's just turning into flying scattered dust. It says you're going to be interdependent groups, meaning you were groups that were totally affiliated with one another, and you relied on one another. And there's going to be three kinds of groups. That is to say, there will be three. Because when people think of azwaj, they think of all kinds of, are they going to be, husband and wife together? Are they going to be people of the same race, people in the same industry? How many groups can there be? How many interdependent pairings can there be? Allah says actually, that is to say, just three. You're just going to end up with three. And this concept of being in three groups is actually something that occurs in Qur'an multiple times. In different ways Allah expresses this. But I'll move along and let's see how Allah Himself describes what these groups are. فَأَصْحَابُ الْمَيْمَنَةِ. Then the people of the right. Again, this is something you'll enjoy more when you study more sarf. Maymana. Maymana comes from yameen. Yameen means the right hand. Shimal means the left hand. Yameen is also a masdar. Yuman also is a masdar. It means the infinitive, the idea. Maymana, they call it the masdar mimi. Way on the right. So something is on the right, it's people of ashab al-yameen. But people that are way out there on the other end of the right. Extreme right. I don't mean right wing, by the way. Okay? But extreme right, physically speaking, that's maymana. So the people on the right, ma ashabul maymana. Oh my, those people. What amazing people, the people of the right. This ma is what's called ma istifhamiyya at-ta'jibiyya. To instill shock. Whoa, those people on the right. It's very hard to translate this. The people of the right. Oh, the people on the right. The people of the right hand. Oh, the people of the right. But this, you know what this is saying? The people of the right. Oh, people of the right. Wow. Those guys. And how amazing and how way out there they are. How separated they are. Are the people of the right hand and the people of the left hand close to each other in this world? Physically, are they in interaction with each other in this world? Sure. They're neighbors. They're in the same family. They interact all the time. The Prophet's ﷺ's next door neighbor is Abu Lahab. They're like this. But Judgment Day, the people of the right hand are way out there. وَأَصْحَابُ الْمَشْأَمَةِ. And the people of misfortune. One meaning of shu'um is khilaf al-yuman. It's on the opposite, the left hand. But the Arabic word for that is shimal also. Ashabu shimal, ma ashabu shimal. But ashabul mash'ama. Mash'ama actually, sha'uma means to become unlucky. To become unlucky. To be unfortunate. To be wretched also. From it in modern Arabic we get the word pessimism. Mutasha'im. Mutafa'il and mutasha'im. Pessimistic, negative. The people that are depressed. The people that are wretched. The people that are, he didn't even call them the left hand. He just called them people that are in just severe state of depression. Ma ashabul mash'ama. What about those people? Whoa. It's how undescribable their state is. Ma ashabul mash'ama. Now in Arabic there are degrees of emphasizing things. this ma at-ta'ajjub, ma al-istifham wa ta'ajjub, this is one way of emphasizing something and how to aggrandize it. But the most powerful way of aggrandizing something in Arabic rhetoric is coming in the next ayah. وَالسَّابِقُونَ السَّابِقُونَ. The mubtada is as-sabiqun and the khabar is as-sabiqun. Let me tell you about the first and the foremost, and all you need to know is they're the first and the foremost.